Okay, welcome everyone to our Thursday team training. We've had a lot of personal requests for Amber Cottrell to share some of her top tips on client acquisition. And we'll introduce her in just a second, but before we start that, I wanted to do just a quick training on our role in coach training, because right now as a team, we're really focusing on coach acquisition. Especially any of you that have those big goals, we want to help more people get healthy. And the way that we do that is by inviting more people to explore coaching and to have that financial health. And so that's a really fun thing that we're doing. We're doing at least one Coach Explore every week. And if you have someone that wants to explore coaching, let us know and we'll do one personally for you if you want, if you can't jump on the team time that we're doing that. And so we just wanted to go over like what happens when you do get a coach, because a lot of times we have new coaches. And that's kind of scary to think about, oh, what do I do if I have a coach? You know, I'm still learning. I can't teach someone else. And so I just wanted to kind of go through just the basic things of when you get a new coach. So I think the first thing is you want to invite them into our community. When they really see what the support looks like and the personal development and just really what our coach community looks like, it's pretty exciting and they just really feel like they have a lot of support. So within 24 hours of signing up a new coach, I would recommend starting a chat thread with your mentor coaches. So whichever coach is right above you, and then if your coach is kind of new, like whoever helps train. So I would love to be in all of those chat threads also, but just introduce them to the team and then set up a meet and greet. So a time that we can jump on Zoom and just get to know them a little bit. And I love these because a lot of times those new coaches don't even have Zoom set up. So this is a good time for them to make sure that they have Zoom set up. They learn how to use that so they're ready for those trainings on Tuesdays or these team trainings. And so on those meet and greets, what I usually do is I just like to hear their story, like why they wanted to become a coach, kind of their experience, and then just welcome them. And I like to find out kind of what their goal is for coaching. And so I love to find out a financial goal. We had someone exploring that, had a goal that they wanted to pay for their kids' lessons. She takes ballet and it was really expensive. So that was our first goal. And so to be able to lay that out as far as what that would look like is exciting, so they kind of know what they're looking toward. But we don't like to overwhelm them too much on that meet and greet. We're just kind of hearing their story. And then we talk about how to get started with their training. So we'll talk about doing those practice calls with them and ask them if they know anyone that would help with that. And so with those practice calls, if you're not an executive director or not, you're kind of there just to help guide them. Don't feel like you have to do a lot of that training. You're just there to kind of keep them on track and encourage them and just ask them how they're doing. So if you are an executive director or if you feel really comfortable doing those health assessments, I would love for you just to have your mentor coach listen to one that you're doing. And you can kind of just pass that off like, okay, I'm ready to teach this to someone else. Because a lot of times we get in that habit of like doing those health assessments, but maybe things have changed over the years or maybe there's some great tips that you can be able to teach someone else. So if you're an executive director and are ready to help train a coach, just ask your mentor coach to hop on a practice call with you just to kind of check off that training, like the health assessment training. We can give you some good tips on how to train with that. Or if you're close to executive director and you want to be part of that training, go ahead and jump on a call and just pass off that health assessment. And so if you're not an executive director yet, your biggest role is just to help encourage that new coach. Make sure that they're getting those practice calls in. A lot of times they kind of do a couple and then don't do much. So you can kind of just help them say, hey, do you have another practice call you want to do? Just to kind of help keep them on track. Sorry, just a second. I got to help a little girl pounding on my door. Just a second. Sorry about that. I was brave to let a 5-year-old color eggs while I'm on this all by herself. So, all right. So does anyone have any questions on kind of your role as a mentor coach or as a new coach if you bring on a new coach? Go ahead and unmute yourself if you do. But I love that if you're a new coach, you don't have to feel the pressure of having to train a new coach. You're just there to introduce them, plug them in to the community, and help guide them. And so that takes a lot of pressure off of you. And we would love for you to participate in training a coach. I would just encourage you to pass off your health assessment as far as a trainer goes. Have someone listen to you do it so that you feel confident that you're teaching someone else the right skills. All right. Now I want to introduce Amber Cottrell. She is an executive director, and she actually hit the 10K club last month. And she's had a big jump in her business. Last month, she decided, I'm going to hit executive director this month. No, 2 months ago. And so she really worked hard, hit executive director. And then within a month, she almost doubled her business to get up to 10,000 frontline volume. So Amber, I would love for you to start to tell us your story, kind of why you got into coaching and what motivated you to really, build your business like this. And then we'd love to hear kind of your top tips on client acquisition, because you brought on a lot of new clients. And I know a lot of people would love to hear maybe how you organize your time with that many clients too. And we'll just open it up. People can ask questions, but we just want to celebrate Amber today and just kind of get some great takeaways from her.
Well, thank you, Liz. Yeah, so 4 years ago, I lost 50 pounds, and then my husband jumped on after I'd been on for about a month, and he lost maybe 65. I can't remember, but it changed our lives. We were in Korea living overseas, and I helped a lot of people there. I was an executive director when I was there, but then I never plugged into trainings or our community because it was just, I don't know, time change, and it was hard. Then we moved 2 times in 1 year, and an international move. And I don't even remember how Liz and I started talking. She probably was wanting to know what my goals were. I think you said something like, Amber, it's been 4 years. What are we going to do? What are we doing? And it really got me thinking. And then it got me thinking about my why and what I want. Never before did we really need the money from my coaching. I was just doing it because I really loved helping people, because it helped me and change our lives so much. Then I found myself in this spot where, man, I could use a little extra money. And I am a big dreamer, you guys. I like living in abundance. I really do. I love to travel. I love helping other people. I love to give when I can. I love to play. I love going on dates, and I love saving, and I have house projects. All these things started going through my head, and they were on and on and on. And I'm not a big spender. That kind of makes me sound like I'm a big spender. I'm not. But I love to live in abundance and to be happy and to help others when I can. So once I decided I really do want it, because I love our program. It changed our lives forever. I decided if I'm going to do it, I'm going all in. So I can't believe I'm crying, but Liz said, Amber, okay, look at your Facebook. If I look on there, I would never know that you're a health coach. And that hit me really hard. And it made me start to think, okay, I had to get rid of my concepts of, I don't want to be too pushy. I don't want people to get bugged with my posting on Facebook, because I really do love the program, and it changed my life. And who am I to say when it's someone else's turn? When am I to say, when is it someone else's, when they're ready? So I know the why that makes me cry. I love serving people. I love helping people live their best life. I never thought that I could be where I'm at. So when I found something that worked, why not shout it to the world, right? So I get super pumped. I love health assessments. I love helping people dream, and I love getting them excited about it. So why was I so worried about what they were going to think? I just had to go all in and do it. So the next day I watched the 3x3x3 by Dan Valentine. So go watch that. Watch it again.
I'll post that in our coaching group for you guys also. It's really good.
Perfect. Yeah, because sometimes I think we start doing it and then maybe we're not doing it all the right way. So rewatch it. When I decided to do it, I was going to do it right. So I wanted to make a change for my family and for others. I made my vision board, and I put on there what I wanted and how I was going to get there. So what do you guys want? Really think about that. And how are you going to make it happen? I was just watching or listening to the book, Live an Intentional Life by John Maxwell. And he talks about in there that our dreams are our promises of what our future can become. But dreams need a partner, and that partner is commitment. And I loved that, because he also talks about dreams are free, but we have to work with them and for them to make them become our reality. And that's really, I feel like, where I was. And I wanted to be committed to my dreams. And then he talks about finding people who are like-minded to work with. That's exactly what we have, you guys. We have this awesome team of people trying to live their best lives, and how blessed we are to get to work together. And we get to work together as a team to make other people's dreams come true as well. And he says, if your why is big enough to excite you, you'll excite others. So really dig deep and realize what this means to you and where you want it to go. And he talks about living a life that matters. So that's a really fun one. So I hit my first goal. I got back to Edie. And then I'm like, okay, Liz, what should I do next? And she said, okay, Amber, you want to get to the 8,000 to 9,000 range for front volume. So that way you have some wiggle room. And it really is about the people we're helping, and not about, oh no, I got to make my numbers, right? It's about helping our clients and getting them the best results that we can with them. So I made it happen. It was just fun. Have fun, be genuine. You know, I asked my husband, what's my quality that you would say is my biggest asset? Because it was hard for me to kind of pinpoint one exactly. And he said, Amber, I really think it's you're genuine. So I think the more genuine we can be and be excited and really help people, they can feel that over the phone and really feel that excitement of wanting to share something and not worried about what they're going to think or how they're going to react, but we can have fun with it. I
Hey,
swear.
Amber, can I take a time out because you're like giving us so much great info. Like, I just want to recap for a second because I know I see people like writing things down. So we're going to take a break for a second. First of all, I want to know what the personal development, like the talk that you were talking about, or the book that you were talking about that you were quoting.
It's John Maxwell.
John Maxwell.
And I'm pretty sure it's called Living an Intentional Life. Or let me look really quick. Sorry, I'm a fast talker too.
No, it's all like so good. It's all so good, but we just want to make sure that, you know.
Okay, let's see here. The name of the book exactly is Intentional Living. Choosing. Yes. And then
maybe you can put that in the coaching group.
Yes, I can totally do that. Choosing a life that matters. Intentional living. And he just, and I speed it up sometimes, but this last chapter 7 that I'm on right now, it's like, oh, bam, hitting it. And he says we can start ourselves and working on making a positive difference, but it's one at a time, one person at a time. And you never know. And that's where I'm at now, right? Like, you never know. It's one person can make a difference, and we can be that person. So what else, Liz? Any other?
Okay. So that's one thing that really stuck out to me is you are doing personal development. We cannot help other people grow if we're not growing ourselves. And so whether you're working on some health goals of your own, really working on personal development and sharing what you're learning. I love to listen to podcasts and I take notes. I have in my notes section, I have like ideas from podcasts, what I could do a live video on, or what I can teach my clients from what I'm learning. So I could just take little notes of what I'm learning. So the Habits of Health podcast, the Life School podcast, there's so many great ones. We could even start a chat thread like in the coaching group of good podcasts, but definitely recommend podcast or personal development books are awesome. I love that you got emotional because like you can feel it. You're so excited and you really thought about your why you're doing that. And a lot of us are in that situation that, we can survive like financially without coaching. Most of us, some people need coaching to actually pay the bills, and that's awesome too. But even if you're not in a spot that you actually like need it, think about what it could do for you. Dream a little bit. So Amber, I'd love to hear like maybe 2 things that are on your dream board, on your vision board that you said that you have.
Oh my gosh, only 2, Liz. So my first one, I think that I probably told you was, I want to build a shed for my husband, right? I told you that? Awesome. Well, guess what, guys? Woo woo! Spring break. That's what's happening at my house.
That's so cool. And I love that was like something you wanted to give to someone else. That's, you could just really tell that you're service minded. All right. So what was your other one? A shed for your husband. What's another one you have?
What's another one? I would love to make an extra house payment. So there we go.
Double your house payment. Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. So if you do not have dreams yet, think about like what excites you, what kind of keeps you up at night, or when you're supposed to be focusing on something else, you kind of tell like what's important to you because your mind wanders back to that thing. It gets you excited. So find out what your dreams are, what we can start working toward, and that gets exciting when you actually can accomplish these things. So I love that. I love that you said you really stepped it up on Facebook. You wanted everyone to know that you're a health coach. And if anyone goes to Amber's page, you know she's a health coach. She's posting like crazy, like amazing things. If you ever need ideas of what to post, go to Amber's page because I don't know where she gets all of her stories, but they're stories that I haven't seen before from transformation stories. So she's doing the 3, 3, and 3. She's really connecting with people. She's being authentic. So think about your qualities. Amber's quality is she's really authentic. She really cares about people. Like even if you're not feeling like you are socially there, like to really reach out to people, like think about what your qualities are. Maybe you love cooking and you can share some great healthy recipes. But I encourage everyone to just kind of get out of their comfort zone and just start building relationships with people, just asking about them, finding out about them. And so I will post that 3, 3, and 3 video in our Team Ignite page that you guys can watch. It was really good. So Amber's being really motivated with that, doing that, making sure she's doing that every day. Let's see. She said she's finding people who are like-minded that she wants to work with. So she's really thinking outside the box and thinking, who would I love to work with as a coach? So not just as a client, like who would I love to bring onto my team and work with and help more people get healthy? And so Amber, maybe tell us a little bit. I know that you're kind of talking to people, not just on Facebook. Who are you talking to about coaching? And you've told me a few examples of that.
Yeah. And you know what, you guys, I swear people will come to your heart and mind, and you're going to have names pop into your head. And I just encourage all of us to act on those promptings, those, whatever you want to call them in your mind that come. Reach out and find those people, and even ask how they're doing and where they're at. Build those relationships because you never know when the right time might be. We are all blessed to have really the best jobs in the world. And so lately, when my friends' names have popped in my head, I've reached out. And it doesn't mean that they're going to do it, but it means that I've planted that seed of, man, I would really love to work with you. It's changed my life, and I know it can change yours, and it can make those dreams really come true and make them happen. And so that's really where, so really just the people that you interact with, who would make a great coach? And, one cousin of mine came into my head, and I knew she needed to lose weight, but that wasn't the reason I was calling her. I was calling her because she has all the qualities that I see that would make an amazing coach. And so I reached out to her, and she was super excited. And she actually said, Amber, let me try the program, and I want to do it. Let me do it first. And so that's what she's doing right now. And it's fun to watch her transform. And I hope that she'll catch that vision of becoming a coach and really being able to help other people. I know it's hard for a lot of people to make that switch. But when they do, I want them to love it, and so it's exciting that way. And then I've just had a couple of friends, my friend Carolyn, she's totally fit. She's got a 6-pack, all these things. And I had them over for dinner, and they left that night, and I could not get her out of my mind. So I just messaged her, and I'm like, I have no idea what your, dreams or what you want, but you would make a great coach, and I would love to work with you. So finding those people that you'd really love to work with. And she just signed up to be a coach. Maybe you're on here, Carolyn. I don't know.
I think I see her.
But she's going to touch lives. And, she doesn't have the transformation story. So I know it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but she's dealt with other things and learned nutrition for herself. And so we just offer the tools to make it easier for people. Well, not easier. Someone said it's simple. It still takes work, right?
Yep.
And so really just reaching out to those people that are on your mind, and pray for help, pray for those thoughts to come. And I really know they will come for you for sure.
Yep. And I love that you're really focused on who you can bless. You're not just like trying to sign up coaches. You're like really thinking about, praying about it. Who needs this? And I think a lot of times, I don't know if it's just our society in America, we're a little bit afraid to talk about finances. I don't know why, it's taboo, but, and I mean, even health or weight, but as coaches, we really can see when people are struggling with their health. That's an easy thing to talk about.
Yeah.
But finances, that's something that a lot of times we don't know, the story about that. But on the news today, it said 1 in 5 Americans have zero savings. And you think about like how scary that would be for them if one of their kids got sick, if their car broke down, if their, heater went out. Like that means zero savings. And so like just to think that you have a tool that you could give to someone that would give them financial freedom. That even sounds more valuable than health in some aspects, just because when you're taking care of a family and you have zero savings, that adds a lot of stress to your life, and stress affects your health, so all is like a cycle. So I love that we can really help people with all of those areas. And so I like that you're really, thinking about who could use this and not being afraid to reach out. Sometimes it's scary, but just reaching out and just offering something, something that you can share with them. And then the last takeaway I just wanted to share is I liked that once she hit a goal, she said, what's next? So she hit ED and she didn't just like start getting comfortable there. She's like, what next? And so she really saw the value of that advice of getting above 6,000, because you don't ever want to feel like you need a client. You don't want them to feel like they're a number to you. So if you have, once you get to a goal, whether it be executive director or manager, whatever, and you want to stay at that goal or grow, like you want your goal to be a little bit bigger so that you never feel like you need someone to order, that you can just care about them. If they need to push back their order, that's all right. Let's keep working on your health. I'm still there to help you. And so I loved that. All right, Amber, any other great tips?
Yeah, I just think service, right? I think if you can find something that you really love, I do love giving service, and you picked up on that. And I think if you can find that thing that you love, it just makes serving people that much more fun. And Optivia, we get amazing benefits. So not only are we serving and helping people, but like we're benefiting too. And that to me, it's like, we're golden. Like that's amazing. And then the other thing is like, you never know when it's going to be right for that person. I had a friend call me in December saying, Amber, I think my program would be great for my sister. And I said, okay. I said, she would do better if you were her coach. I would love to help her. Here's my information. Gave it all to her. She's like, okay. I never heard back from her until last week. And then I heard back and she said, okay, that's it. I want to look not only just good in my clothes, I want to look good naked and I want to feel sexy. She's like, so I'm going to do it and I'm going to lose my last 10 pounds or whatever, right? And the gym. And she's like, and then maybe I'll be able to help my sister. And so it's like just planting those seeds and being comfortable talking about those things, we can grow. And that was my big thing this year too, is growth. I had never been to an event. I'd never met Liz until the sleepover. Like 4 years, you guys. But I said, okay, I'm expecting my clients to grow and to do hard things. So why am I not? So I said, okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to do it. And I was so blessed to meet so many of you. And to feel that community is amazing. And it's real and it can help us. So let's grow and get out of our comfort zones and be the best that we can be. I started plugging into the trainings, and so go to events. As Liz knows, I wasn't going to go to convention. I have friends coming in from Maryland. We're always busy in the summers. They're coming for a week, and thanks, Karen. And they leave the day before we're leaving for convention, and I was like, I just can't. I wanted Spencer to come with me. He couldn't. And I finally said, okay, that's it. It's nagging at me. I'm going. And I told Spencer, you're coming with me. So figure out work. We're going to make this happen. And we booked it and we're coming to convention. So it's like, once you decide something, we can make it happen. And I just feel blessed to work with you all. So thank you. Anything else? I don't know. It's fun.
Well, before I open it up for questions, I love that last tip about events. The most important event is the next event. So whether it be a local event or if you're going to dream big and you really want to grow your business and personal development, definitely go to convention. You will not regret it. Your business will grow. You will grow personally too. But I love that you just took the chance and you're like, you know what? I want to do this. I'm growing. I'm going. It was like non-negotiable. You just made it happen. So that's awesome.
Oh, and the next event, I have one at my house, April 16th. Liz and I and Lena, whoever wants to come invite as many people as you can. I'll get a Facebook invite soon.
Yep. And Amber wasn't comfortable like just doing that at her house, but she just decided to do it scared, and
do it scared.
And so, if you want to have an event at your house, let us know. We'd love to help you, but just to be able to invite, people in your neighborhood, your friends, kind of make that a community of health. So that's also great that she's doing that. I'm going to open it up for questions. Does anyone have any questions for Amber as far as client acquisition, maybe how she organizes her time? She still has a little one at home during the day, so that can be hard. So unmute yourself if you have a question for Amber.
Okay, so I'm going to throw this one out there. I actually talked to Vicki about this. And so I think it's more of a limiting belief. So maybe Amber may not be able to answer this, but maybe somebody can. So I've been thinking a lot about setting goals. I've gotten really a lot better about setting goals, but one of my hang-ups at this point is setting a goal that involves someone else's choice, if that makes sense. So
give us an example.
if I set a goal that says I want 5 new coaches in the next 3 months, like I can do everything that I can make phone calls, I can do Facebook, there's stuff I can do. But when it comes down to it, I cannot force someone else to do anything. And I can't even, how do you set a goal based on somebody else's choice? Does it make more sense now?
I'm going to go and then Liz can go because Karen, I'm right there with you, friend. But here's the deal. My goal, we can't control them, but we can still work our fannies off and do the best we can. And at the end of the month, we know we did it. And we don't want just anybody, right? We want people that love it and love it as much as we do. And so for me, because I'm right there, I would love that. I want to build a team of awesome friends, right? We just keep doing our part. And it might not happen in a month. It might be 6 months. It might be 2 months. But we keep reaching out. So go ahead, Liz. What were you doing? Well,
I was thinking it's the same thing about clients. Like you may have a goal of 5 or 10 new clients a month, but you can't make anyone do it. All you have control over is you, like Amber said. And so maybe being really specific on what you feel like your action steps would be. So to get 5 new coaches, what does that mean? How many people would you need to invite? How many explore calls would you need to do? How many, posts on Facebook? How many live videos? How many, so making those action steps where your goal isn't kind of like with our clients. It's not always about rewarding the number on the scale, but rewarding the actions. So set a reward for drinking your water every day, in the week you get a reward, not just how much you lost. So maybe even just breaking those up in action steps. So I have a big whiteboard and I like to plan out my month, like how many Facebook Lives am I going to do this month? How many health assessments am I going to do this month? How many invites to Coach Explorers am I going to do this month? And so when I do that, I write the date that I did it or who I talked to. So I can see, look at that board, oh, I only did 2 lives this month and I have a goal for 5, I better do another one, so I can kind of see those action steps and see what I'm doing. And then at the end of the month, I can take that down and see like all the action that I did. And a lot of it's seed planting, so it might not all happen in your time frame. But if you can see those action steps that you've done, then that's something to be proud of and rewarding. So it's kind of like that quote, shoot for the moon and land in the stars. Even if it's not your exact goal, it's as long as you're moving forward, that's progress. But I think a lot of it comes down to just what we can control, those action steps. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Thank you.
Don't give up. We can't give up.
Nope, not giving up.
Can I add something?
Just trying to work it out.
Can I add something?
Go ahead.
Karen, just a thought that came to my mind, because believe me, I have done this same process before. Everything we do as health coaches is predicated on someone else's decision. So like a client, we can't decide to become clients for our friends and family. Like they have to make that decision. Coaching's the same way. And so I think it's so super important that we, like Liz is saying, have the action steps in place, but we can't ever get tied to, if this coach just did it, or if this coach, or if this person would just become a client, my business would boom, because everything is based on someone else's decision and they have to be ready. But if you're moving forward, you're going to grow whether your business does or not. So personally, you're going to grow. And then I think your business growing is like a side effect of that.
Yeah, that
So
was
good.
awesome.
Thanks, Cami.
Anyone have any other questions for Amber? Amber, how do you organize your time and your clients? I mean, 10,000 frontline volume, that's around 30 clients at least. So how do you organize that?
It's busy. I try to call them all within the first like 3 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Not everybody answers, right? So I still send messages. I send out the newsletter Monday or Tuesday, sometimes Wednesday if it slips by me. I use my map. I should show you guys. This is new. This is new for me too, peeps. And here's the deal. I used to carry around my folder with all my clients, but then like Liz and I were talking one day and she's like, Amber, it's hard to do that. And so she's like, if you just have your map, right, with all your people on it, then if you're sitting in the car waiting to carpool or whatever, I can like, oh, I have them in it and they've been on my mind. That's the other thing, my sticky notes. I'll have clients come to my mind like, I really need to see how they're really doing or, check in with them that way. So I'll just put their name. Sometimes it's like laying in bed and they'll come to my mind. So I message myself. So the next morning, that way it's not something I have to keep on my mind. I can write it down and let it go. So really just organizing them that way. And I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm glad you brought up the map. And I put mine like in a plastic cover sheet just because by the end of the week it would be like trashed. So I just like bring that with me in the car. I keep it in my bag, and then if I'm at a ball game and I'm there early because my kids had to go early, I can look through that. Oh, I'm going to check in with this coach or whatever that is. So that helps. I like to send my email like on Mondays, and then on I check in with all my clients on Tuesdays. That's like my check-in day, but Amber says she splits hers up a little bit, so that's good. Anyone else have ideas?
Monday, Wednesday, like he goes to preschool Monday, Wednesday, so I try to get it in those few hours while he's gone.
Yeah, those are good. I'd love to open it up. Does anyone else have any good organization tips on how they organize their business? I love that you can design your business what works for you, in your schedule. So, Karen, go ahead.
So I did a client check-in day. Mine is Monday. And then I noticed, like, just as an example for me, I have to put in my calendar if there's a check-in, like, that's not check-in, a follow-up call. And so I just put that person's name like on my calendar, and then it alerts me, call so-and-so on this day. Or like, for example, I just had 2 people this month say, you know what, I can't do it this month, but can you please call me next month? And so I've already got them in the calendar. And so it's going to alert me when that day comes that I need to contact them.
That's smart.
In April.
Whether you use like Google Calendar or a paper calendar, I love to, like in my Google Calendar, if I have a health assessment, I put that in yellow, and then I can go through the month, and that's an easy way for me to follow up. Like all the yellows, I'll click on them. If they're not a client, then I'll just like send them a follow up or send, like check in with them, how they're doing. Those are the people that I'm building relationships with, because if they weren't ready quite yet, it doesn't mean no. It just means like not yet, and so I'm still like building that relationship with them. And so that's kind of an easy way to remember to follow up with people. Like if you write it on your calendar, you can go through and check up.
And then I also have a file list for my health assessments that weren't ready or whatever. Mm-hmm. And that way I can look back through and I'm like, oh, it's been a few months. Or if I have a $50 scholarship and it was financially a tight thing, but they really wanted to do it, those are maybe the ones that I'd reach back out and say, hey, I have this. Let me know if you're interested, No pressure.
Yep. That's the hardest thing, is like the staying organized, the follow-up. I love the binder that we have. That's a great way to stay organized. I personally do a 3x5 box, and it has like A through Z, and I have a pre-start and the first week file where I put my new clients in pre-start, and then I move them to first week, and then after their first week I move them into the A through Z. And then every day on my check-in, like I'll take out the A's, I'll call the A's, take out the B's, call the B's, and just go through like that, and then take notes on the cards. And so that's really easy because I can just take this with me in the car. But the binder works great. I just found that like the papers would get messed up and it would get dirty, and so this has lasted me 7 years I've been using this. So just kind of finding what works for you. A lot of people like more the digital, and that works great too. Using like a spreadsheet or your binder. So just kind of find what works for you. Like this is your business. You do what works for you. So all right, before we close, last chance for a question for Amber.
I just have a question. How many people, or actually, let's not ask that part of the question. Are you getting most of your people from Facebook? I'm just curious.
A lot.
Okay.
I would say a lot. And they don't normally comment. They usually message me directly. And so that's been huge. And then, like I said, reaching out to people myself when they've been on my mind, like my friend Christina, is she on? I don't know if she's on either, but she's another one that loves nutrition, and she doesn't need it for weight loss, but she'd make a great coach. And so she was on my mind, and I messaged her, and so she's trying it out for a month to see what she thinks, even when she doesn't even need to lose anything. So yeah, Facebook a lot, and then a couple people in my community and in my neighborhood. But those ones are a little bit harder usually. It's interesting.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to leave you guys with a challenge. I want you to take one takeaway from today and see how that could help you to grow your business. So whether it be personal development, doing the 3, 3, and 3, there were so many good ones. But think of one thing that you want to start doing to grow your business. And one thing I love is that Amber really talked about when somebody comes to their mind, she acts on it. And a lot of times we push those thoughts away, but I think those people come to our mind for a reason. So just know that, and I loved how she said, who am I to say when someone's ready or who's ready or who deserves it? So just remember, if someone comes to your mind, act on that, whether it means send them a message or call them, but they came to your mind for a reason. So just remember that. But I encourage everyone to just think of one thing that you learned today that you might want to do in your business if you're not already doing, or continue doing. But she shared lots of great takeaways. And thanks for doing this, even though it was a little scary, Amber. You did such a great job. And we're just excited that we get to learn from each other. Each of you have so many amazing qualities, and I learn from each and every one of you. And that's what's fun, is we have this great community that helps us to grow and to be better. So thanks for sharing with us. And I'm going to stop the recording if anyone has any other questions. Amber, if you have a few minutes, you're welcome to stay on.